in 1996. Before that, our visionary famous doctor, Dr. Mohan Alva sir, he completed his Ayurveda course from STM Ayurveda College, Udupi, and later he has started Alva Pharmacy during 1984. And now it is after 40 years, now we have around 150 classical product and 35 proprietary product. So we are having around 185 to 200 products in Alva Pharmacy. And Alva's Ayurveda Medical College started during 1996. And now already nearly 30 years old college. And Shobhavana we have started during 1996. And it is also nearly 30-year-old one now. And we have Anandamaya Cottage at Mijar, near Shobhavana, for treatment purpose, Panchakarma point of view. And initially we had 60 students admission during 1996. And 2006 onwards, we had 100 students. Later, 2006 onwards, we have started MD Ayurveda. And later, for MD level, we have started Animal House. We got permission from CCSCA. And from 2014 onwards, we have started Dravyaguna PhD also. And presently, we have PhD in 7 subjects. And later, we have established the research center called ATMA Research Center during 2019. And presently, we have various research projects and students projects which is sponsored by RGHS and CCRS, and many of our staff members also doing research. So these are all about brief introduction about Alva's Ayurveda Medical College as well as Alva's Education Foundation. So this is Alva's Traditional Medicine Archive and Research Center. We have started 2019. Along with that, we have started Alva's Oriental Research Library and Clinical Research OPD also. And this is briefly about Alva's Ayurveda Medical College. Under Alva's Education Foundation, presently we have around 23 education institutions, around 22,000 students in our campus, and nearly 4,000 teaching and non-teaching staff members. So this is brief about our Alva's Education Foundation as well as Alva's Ayurveda Medical College. So with this background, I will come to the subject proper, Shobhavana. Mainly this Shobhavana is meant for identification point of view for the student and learners, or any doubts, clearance of doubts or publics. Many of the students, so many people are coming to our Shobhavana. Mainly this one is made for the conservation point of view and identification point of view. And even we are exploring the endangered medicinal plants we are cultivating and conservating. So this is the motto of Shobhavana. There is a shloka by Vriksha Ayurveda of Surapala.
The third slide is showing up. Please go for the next slide. Third slide is.
Yes. Slides are not moving.
Not moving. Slide is not moving. Only third slide it is hanged.
Okay.
It's okay.
Is it okay now?
Some shloka came.
Yes, sir. So that is one shloka in Vriksha Ayurveda of Surapala. Bahubihi kim vane jataihi putraihi dharmartha varjitaihi varameka pati taruriyatra vishramayate janaihi. That means he says that better to have a tree by the wayside where many rest under its shade than to have many sons born who are devoid of dharma and artha. That means he has given the importance to cultivation of medicinal plants by Surapala. With this brief introduction, let us, without wasting much time, I will directly go to Shobhavana. This is our Shobhavana, started during 1996. Having around 10 acres of land for demonstration purpose, having more than 1,000 varieties of medicinal plants. There are 1,000 species, varieties, and same species having multiple numbers. For example, Bilwa, ecological factors, some are having larger leaves, some are having smaller leaves, like that. Due to ecological factors, various types of leaves also we can get, or various sizes of the leaves also we can get. So to show that one also, we have more than 5 to 6 Bilwa plant. Likewise, Rakta Chandana varieties, Rakta Chandana plants. Likewise, initially we have number of plants of same species, but different which one, size and shape, sizes of the leaf. This is how we have designed initially. This is the entrance. You can see a glimpse of Shobhavana video, 1 minute only. This is the entrance of Shobhavana, and we have name plates for each and every plant, and Rakta Chandana, Bilova, like that, various name plates we have. And along with that, we have designed QR code for plant. You can observe now QR code for Oroxylum indicum. Likewise, some sample drugs, around 50 drugs, we have QR codes also. So you can scan and you can see what about those plants. Yeah, this is about Shobhana. We have Rudraksha, Rakta Chandana, Jyotishmati. Likewise, different plants we have. Yeah, now on sample, you can scan this QR code and you can go for the details. It's in Kannada, you can get explanation, and even English also we have arranged for different plants. If you want, you can just try with QR code, you just scan it and you can go to its details, explanation. In such a way, we have designed this herbal garden. Yeah, shall I move?
Yes, sir.
We have traditional vanas, which is having significance, its own significance. We have around more than 52 vanas in our herbal garden, Shobhavana. Traditional vanas like Rashi Vana, Navagraha Vana, Satyanarayana Puja Vana, Nakshatra Vana, Ambika Vana, Ganesha Vana, Shiva Panchayatana Vana, Ashtadikpalaka Vana, Kadamba Vana, like that. Various vanas we have arranged in such a manner, so people can even worship these plants. This is one way of conservation of medicinal plants also. With this which one, faith and fear, the plants will be can be conserved. So always, for conservation point of view, there should be some faith in medicinal plant, as well some fear also. So if you are touching those vanas, so there may be some misleadings or some bad happenings might be there. In such a belief or such a fear, people won't touch these vanas. So it's one way, it's a way of conservation of medicinal plants. And apart from conservation, there is various significance of for these vanas also. For example, in Rashivana, so this is about Rashivana. There are 12 Rashis, and in Navagravana, 9 Grahas related plants, and Nakshatravana, there are 27 Nakshatras and its own relevant plants, 27 plants. What I'm going to say is, there are 27 Nakshatras. You can divide 4 padas, that means it is 108 padas. It can be divided or distributed into 12 Rashis, that means 9 padas of Nakshatras can be matched with the one Rashi. For example, Mesha Rashi. Mesha Rashi, under Mesha Rashi, Ashwini, Bharani, and Rohini. These 3 nakshatras. First, Ashwini nakshatra, Bharani nakshatra, and next one. So 4 plus 4 plus 1. So 9 padas will come under Mesha Rashi. Likewise, 9 padas are divided and distributed for each Rashi. So with that, we can have the relationship between nakshatra and Rashi. And if you are going to the Janma Kundali of a person, yeah, Before going to that one, you can see Nakshatra, Rashivana here. There are 12 Rashis. Mesha, Vrishabha, Mithuna, Karkataka, Simha, Kanya, Tula, Vrishtika, Dhanu, Makara, Kumbha, Meena. 12 Rashis, for which different sthanas of grahas, Navagrahas, having its own sthana. Along with that, there are 12 plants mentioned in Rashivana, like Rakta Chandana, Saptaparna, Panasa, Palasha, Patala, Amra, Bakula, Kadira, Ashwata, Shimshapa, Shami, Vata. Like this, 12 plants are distributed to 12 Rashis. These 12 plants are having its own significance. For example, this is one horoscope of a person. Just observe that it is related to Kushta Vyadhi. We have studied or made for this Kushta clinical diagnosis and astrological diagnosis. So if you are observing this Janma Kundali on Vrishchika Rashi Sthana, Lagna Sthana, you can observe the Lagna Sthana. Lagna to second Sthana, second house is Kuja and fifth house is Rahu. Always for skin disease, Kuja and Rahu are the major contributors. So if there is a problem with the Kuja or Rahu, then in their time, a person may have skin disease. This is how astrology says. The beauty of this Janma Kundali and Rashivana or Navagrahana, if you are observing, you can see the Parihara also. You can see the Navagrahavana here. If you are observing Kuja and Rahu, then see the Parihara also. In Parihara for Kushta Vyadhi, we can see Adaki. Adaki can be given as Dana. Dana Karma, you can offer to somebody who are poor, Adaki. And then take the treatment with Kadira. If there is problem in Kuja, then take Kadira Kashaya or use Kadira as a medicine. If there is a problem in Rahu, Darba can be used and Masha can be donated to some poor people. Likewise, we can get many significance of this also. So where there is a problem in Janma Kundali or where there is a problem in or sufferings in a people, so they can get parihara by doing this parihara also. Along with medicine, they can get cured. Some where we can say this incurable disease, some pariharas like it is Lord Subrahmanya or Rahu, or like that, some pujas also done or home also may be done. Along with that, these medicines also can be used. So with that, we can get excellent result in clinical practice also. This is how we can get the result with the Navagrahana, Rashivana or Nakshatravana. Then again, I'm coming back. So this is Navagrahana. Already explained. There are 9 grahas and 9 plants are mentioned and 9 Navadhanyas also mentioned for Dana Karma. These 9 plants for Navagrahavana. Navagrahas. Now coming to Shiva Panchakshari, Acharya, Shankaracharya proposed this Panchayatana Puja, Shiva Panchayatana Puja or Panchayatana Puja, where we can get the reference like Panchadevatas, like Shiva, Vishnu, Surya, Ambika and Ganesha. 5 Devatas Puja can be done, for which there are 2 plants each mentioned for each Devatas. So we can get 10 plants in Shiva Panchayatana Vana. And now coming to Nakshatravana, there are 27 Nakshatras and 27 plants also we have planted. All plants are available in our garden. All these vanas are live plants we can see in our Shobhavana. So 27 Nakshatras, 27 plants are there. Some of the plants like Sarala, Pinus Roxburghi also we have cultivated because it is very difficult to cultivate in this belt, South India. But it is sustained in our garden. It is present in our garden. And we have some special plants like Strychnus naxomica we have, and even Strychnus colubrina also we have. Lata Kupilu and Lata Kupilu we have. I'll show later. So these 27 nakshatras and its relevant plants or related plants are also useful for the treatment point of view also. Not only for puja, we can perform puja as well. Same plant we can use for our sufferings. Now coming to Satyanarayana Pujavana or Dhanvantari Pujavana. Dhanvantari Pujavana and Satyanarayana Pujavana almost same mantras or reference. Both are Vishnu, Satyanarayana or Dhanvantari, Vishnu Rupa. So here we can get around 48 plants in Dhanvantari Pujavana or Satyanarayana Pujavana. We can get the reference of 48 plants where 24 patras and 24 pushpas, leaves and flowers, 24 flowers, 24 leaves, we can get the reference. All 48 plants are available in our garden. Usually we use puja. There are mantras like Arka Pushpam Samarpayami, Dadima Pushpam Samarpayami, like that. So all 24 pushpas are available. With all 24 pushpas we can offer and we can perform the Satyanarayana Puja or Dhanvantari Puja. Same way we can use the patras also. Amalaka Patram Samarpayami, like that. So different patras, Tulasi Patra, like that, different patras and different pushpas we can use, and we can completely we can do this proper way, we can do this, perform this Satyanarayana Puja or Dhanvantari Puja. With that Vishnu Puja we can cure, or Dhanvantari Puja we can cure any disease, especially Jwara, any type of Jwara also we can control, and apart from that any diseases we can control. That is the speciality of Dhanvantari Puja or Satyanarayana Puja. Yeah, this is the view of Dhanvantari Pujavana or Satyanarayana Pujavana, where we have pond for Kamala, Kumuda, etc. And we have all 48 plants. Next, I'm not only going to explain this vanas, there are many vanas which I cannot complete within this short span of time. So few examples which I have given. Apart from that, we can go for the identification of medicinal plant, how to identify medicinal plants, and how to cultivate medicinal plants, how to conserve the medicinal plants, how to give the organic manure and other things, and conservation. All these things we can discuss within short period. Now coming to Shanivana, for Shanigraha Bada, Sade Sat, 7.5 years, there will be some problem with Shani, and ultimately Shani also won't give bad things. At the end of this Sade Sat, he will give very good things to the person if you are performing all pujas. So with this also we can get reference in Shanivana, various plants we can get the reference like Chandana, Rakta Chandana, etc. Maikeli, Champaka, like that. So different plants, around 9 to 10 plants we can get, like Kadira, then Bilwa. All those plants are related to Shanivana. And there are called Saptarshivana also, according to Gotra. So we can get Bharadwaja, Atreya, Kashyapa, Gautama, like the Vishwamitra, Vasishta, like that. So for 7 rishis, there are 14 plants, two plants, like Kadamba, you can get even Rudraksha. Likewise, different plants we can get. So with that, so they're related to Saptarshivana. And we can see Ganesha one also, Ganesha Puja also. In Prasanna Puja, there are 12 mantras are there, for which all plants also mentioned in Ganesha Vana or Ganesha Puja, like Kadira or Durva. Likewise, different plants we can get. Those are about the vanas. Without wasting much time, I'll continue for the identification point of view. Next step, going to how to identify the plants in vanas or in herbal garden or in field. In herbal garden, it is easy to identify because nameplates are there. Whereas if you are going outside the garden, in field identification, the character is important. How to identify the plants, on which basis you are identifying. When the two plants are associated closely or having confusions, close resemblance, then how to differentiate those plants also important. So How to identify this plant? So already I have given name. It is Saraka Ashoka, Tamrapalava. The tender leaves are coppery red in color. So this is how the character is seen. There are some confusions or some different plants related to Saraka Ashoka. This is the flower of Ashoka. And here you can get different species. Like apart from Saraka Ashoka, we have Saraka declinata and Humboldt brunis and Polyaltha longifolia. So these are all, some are adulterant and some are substitutes. Say for example, Polyaltha longifolia is Nakli Ashoka, which is the adulterant for Ashoka. Here it belongs to Anonaceae family and leaves are very elongated and which is not, tender leaves are not reddish or copper red in color, and it is branches are drooping and tree is growing straight without much, only some few branches are drooping down. This is how we can differentiate, and the bark also we can differentiate, which is blackish in color. This is how the Polyaltha longifolia is. Whereas in Saraka declinata, the flowers completely orange color, there is no reddish color, orange color, and leaf arrangement also different. I'll show how to see this Ashoka plant also. Now Humboldt brunis, you can see a whitish flower rather than reddish or orange color. You can see whitish with pinkish tinge flower in Humboldt brunis, which can be taken as substitute for Ashoka plant. This is how in Ashoka only we can get some controversy, adulterants as well substitutes in Ashoka. Now this is the original Ashoka, Saraka indica leaf. Which character we can observe here? Speciality of this leaf. If you are observing very clearly in field, this is important. It's arranged parallelly. Leaves are compound leaf. Peripinnate. Main character, if you are observing, anybody can answer or tell. The basal leaf, basal pair of leaflet are facing backwards. I hope you can see, you can observe or you can understand. All the 4 or 5 pairs of leaflets are facing forward direction, whereas basal pair of leaflets are facing backward direction. This is the main character of Ashoka in field. This is how we can identify the Ashoka. When the plant is without flower, only leaves also, with leaves we can identify and we can clear the doubts or closely resembling plants of Ashoka. So that's how we can identify Saraka Ashoka. Now, see, this is very narrow-leaved plant. This is Humboldt brunis. It's also a substitute of Ashoka. Humboldt brunis. The leaves are very narrow, whereas in Ashoka, leaves are broad and basal pair of leaflets are facing backwards. Whereas here it is not like that. It is in different angle. We can see different pair of leaflets, but it is very narrow. And when the flower comes, we can differentiate. Now, coming to this Guduchi, very common plant. That's how the nature and human relation. You can see the chordate leaves. Guduchi is not only for Prameha or Vatarakta, it is also for cardiac disorder also. It is Hridya also. So it is chordate shape or heart-shaped leaves, which can be used for heart also. This is how the human and nature relationships. How to identify Tinospora cordifolia? Because there are different species, Tinospora malabarica, Tinospora sudarshana. Likewise, many different 3 to 4 species we can get of Tinospora species. But Tinospora cordifolia, it is a climbing or climber, which is having heart-shaped leaves, this fleshy succulent stem. Leaves are simple, alternate, and heart-shaped with a long petiole, elongated petiole. And stem is succulent, long, and climbing with aerial roots arising from the branches. This is also important. Aerial roots also important in Tinospora cordifolia. And the bark is typically grayish brown or creamy white, warty, and peels off easily. The presence of aerial roots that emerge from the branches is a characteristic feature. This is how we can identify. And the uses all of you know. So no need of further explanation. So this is Mandukaparni also, Central Asiatica. So this is also relation with the nature, which resembles brain. These leaves resembles brain, and it's useful also, uses also in brain. It's a very good brain tonic, Mandukaparni. So various Mandukaparni also we can observe different size and shape according to the ecological factors, as well some varieties of the species. Central Asiatica and its varieties, we can get bigger varieties, smaller varieties, Sri Lankan Mandukaparni or Brahmi. Likewise, we can get various species which can be used for even skin disease also, not only as a brain tonic. Apart from brain tonic, we can use for amla pitta or skin. Likewise, different diseases we can use. Now, all of you can identify this is also, it is Mesophera, Nagakesara. Nagakesara also, tender leaves are coppery red in color. But compared to Ashoka, it is narrow, and compared to Ashoka, it is not so much reddish, it is slightly orange colored. That is Nagakesara. Leaves, only leaves we can identify. And when it is flowering, obviously everyone can identify. A tender leaves are reddish pink, slightly reddish in color, and drooping habit. The branches are drooping, making them easily distinguishable from the older, darker green foliage. The mature leaves are oblong lanceolate, coriaceous, that is leathery appearance, and can be glaucous. This is very, very important character in the field. How to identify Nagakesara, which is covered with whitish waxy coating on the lower surface or dorsal surface of the leaf. If you are rubbing the dorsal surface of the leaf, a white powdery coating is sticking onto your finger, and which is, so it is the character of the Nagakesara plant, which is leaves are glaucous. That is the important character in field. The flowers are, particularly the stamens, are golden yellow and shorter than the petals, with the style twice as long as the stamens. The fruits are surrounded by enlarged sepals. Fruits are covered by 4 sepals, enlarged sepals. That also a characteristic feature of Nagakesara fruit and Nagakesara flowers. Moreover, without flower and fruit also we can identify, definitely we can identify the Nagakesara with the glaucous leaves and tender leaves if it is there. With that also we can identify Nagakesara. The uses all of the unit of discussion. Now coming to Champaka. Maikere Champaka. Here also in field we can identify, even though it is not having flowers, with only leaves also we can identify. The leaves are simple, alternate, and have an entire and often wavy margin. Its leaves are having wavy margin. That's one character. And very important character is stipules are not persistent. Initially, when the leaf buds are coming, we can observe the stipules. But when the leaf properly develops, the stipules are casts off. It's called caducus. The stipules are falling, and its scar we can observe. They are deciduous and fall off easily, the stipules, leaving behind a scar on the stem or scar on the leaf also, and fall off early, leaving behind a scar. They are also described as adnate to the petiole. So this fallen stipule, a scar can be observed on the basal part, that's the basal part of the leaf, or petiole part. You can observe a stipule scar. That is the main character of the Champaka, Maikeliya Champaka. That's how we can. Yeah. Sorry. Yes, 1 second. Yeah, sorry.
ಪವರ್ ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ?
Yeah. 1 second. Current hoitu. Yes. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Shall I continue now? Yeah. Yeah, this is the identifying character of Michaelia champaka, caducus and adnate character of the petiole, petiole, and it is stipule scar. That is the identification mark of champaka. And with the flower, we can identify very clearly champaka flowers. And Michaelia champaka, various species are there. Again, various colors of flowers we can get in Michaelia champaka, having fragrance, aromatic plant. With all this, we can identify very clearly in the field. And next plant is, I think you can identify. This is Kadamba, Anthocephalus Kadamba. Here, most striking feature is the dense globe-shaped clusters of fragrant orange yellow colored flowers. Usually looks like a tennis ball. The fruit looks like a tennis ball. The fruit is round woody capsule containing numerous small seeds. So this is the main identifying characters of the Anthocephalus Kadamba, flowers and fruits. Apart from that, if it is not having flowers or fruits, you can see this plant, the branches giving in all angles. Every angle you can get branches. So just if you are imagining, if you are taking a photography, imaginary photography from the top of the plant, which looks like a wheel-like appearance. In all angles, you can see the branches. That's how it is branching. Branching upwards. Usually, which one? Ashoka, Polyalthia longifolia. Polyalthia longifolia, branches are drooping downwards. Or Vrikshamla plant also, the branches are drooping downwards. Whereas Kadamba branches are upwards. It is in 45-degree angle, like this. 45-degree angle, you can see the branches of Kadamba. That's also an identifying character. So if you are just taking photography on the top, you can get a wheel-like appearance. That is how we can identify the Kadamba. And now coming to cultivation point of view, because all plants I cannot explain within this time period. Now identification part is over. Vanas examples are over. Now coming to cultivation part, I will take the example of Chandana. So for cultivating Chandana, always you need some host plant. Sandalwood cultivation is distinguished by its parasitic nature. It needs some parasitic plant initially, not permanently, requiring a host plant for survival and its preference for well-drained, slightly acidic soil in a hot, humid climate. The cultivation also involves specific management practices such as providing suitable host plants, ensuring proper irrigation and pest control, etc. Usually for this Centella malva, the host plant or parasitic, it is the Centella malva is parasitic in nature. So host plant is usually from Papilionaceae, Caesalpinaceae or Mimosaceae plants are commonly useful for sandalwood. So with that, with these supports of that roots or Fabaceae or Papilionaceae roots of those leguminous plants, it grows very easily. After 1 year, it is not requires any host plant. Initially, for the growth of sandalwood, it needs some host plant. Now, coming to this plant, a very rare plant for South India. This plant is initially during 1996 brought from Nepal by our chairman, Dr. Mohan Alva. Initially, the Shobhavana started with this plant as well. It is Rudraksha. So very auspicious plant. So Rudraksha, one plant we have, our chairman planted in our herbal garden, and now we can have 3 or 4 trees of Rudraksha. One Rudraksha plant we can see in Saptarshivana, which is having reference in Saptarshivana. So we have planted there also. Rudraksha plant main in fruit, it is identifying character is a violet colored fruit. That is the chief identifying character. And leaves are having wavy margin. The fruits, a fleshy drupe, typically blue or purple or violet in color. And enclosed with the Rudraksha seed. Inside we can see Ekamukhi, Dvimukhi or Panchamukhi seeds of Rudraksha in this Rudraksha fruit. Ripened fruit is almost violet in color or purple in color. Alocarpus granatus or serratus, commonly known as Rudraksha. Various ridges with that we can say Ekamukhi, Dvimukhi, three or Chatur or Panchamukhi, like that. Different. This Rudrakshi, wearing of Rudrakshi is which controls hypertension, and internally if you are consuming also Rudraksha seeds are useful in prameha and hypertension both, and even Manoroga also. With the, likewise, we can get various references for Rudraksha. So this is how in field identification or cultivation point of view. Now I am going to some non-classical, because of folklore plants also. Some of the folklore plants we can see how to identify and what are the utility of those folklore plants, because we have recently we have developed our Shobhavana as a butterfly garden and a birds garden. So for birds garden we have more of flowering plants, and for butterfly garden, for butterfly garden we have more flowering plants, and for birds garden we have more fruiting plants. So various types of fruits and flowers, such plants we have cultivated nearby Shobhavana, which is called birds garden and butterfly garden. Apart from that, we have folklore herbal garden also. So all this comes under the Shobhavana. We have some of the folklore plants, like this is a very rare plant in South India. Plant is common, but family, Ranunculaceae family plants are very rare. Vasanabha and Ativisha, etc. are of the plants we can get in North India only. Whereas this plant belongs to Ranunculaceae. The botanical name is Neravelia xylanica. Neravelia xylanica belongs to Ranunculaceae family. See the prominent veins we can observe. A round or oval shaped leaves, which is a peripinnate, and you can see the most distinctive feature is the terminal leaflet, which is modified into a tendril heading plant in climbing. So it is having leaf tendrils it is having, and it's in pairs, leaves are in pairs, which is a climber. So this plant, this Neravelia xylanica, here it is common plant, but it is folklore plant. It is called, it can be called as Dhanavalli as per the classics, but there is some controversy. So classically we cannot, confirmatory we cannot say this classical name Dhanavalli as named by some authors, but its use, folklore uses are crushed root or leaf juice sniffed in the nostrils as Nasya Karma in chronic headache, coryza or fever, etc. Especially in headache, it is very useful. And external application of kalka of the whole plant or patra kalka, useful in vitiated vata pitta inflammation, skin disorders, inflammatory conditions, skin disorders, and arthritis, headache, wounds, and ulcers. These are the conditions which can be used by using this plant Neravelia xylanica. Now, coming to other plant which is there in our garden is this is also a folklore plant, Pentaphylla, 5 leaflets you can observe, 2 pairs and 1 impair. On top, you can single leaflet, you can see that is nothing but Glycosmis pentaphylla. Glycosmis pentaphylla. So, which is also a plant which is commonly used for arthritis. Here, local native Vaidyas, folklore Vaidyas prepare oil out of these leaves because it belongs to Rutaceae family, having oil glands and aromatic principles. Oil also you can get. So we can prepare the oil out of these leaves, Glycosmis pentaphylla, which can be used for various conditions of painful conditions, inflammatory conditions, or rheumatism, Amavata, Sandivata, all these such conditions, we can use this leaf oil. And the decoction of the fruit along with salt is gargled in case of toothache. In case of toothache also, we can use the decoction of the fruits. So, and in fever also, we can get decoction of the root can be given internally, which is highly beneficial in fever. This is how Glycosmis pentaphylla is used. One more plant is very common plants which we can observe in this Shobhavana is Aglaea eleganoides. Aglaea eleganoides belongs to Meliaceae family. The fruits are edible. Here fruits are considered as cooling, are used in gastric irritation, amla pitta, biliousness, and in liver disorders, etc. And fruits also useful in anemia condition, which enhances the hemoglobin percentage in blood. So this is how the egg-leaf alkaloids. So we have our students have done already the clinical research on this plant, which they have got very good result in clinically. Now the next plant is, you can see it is not original Ballataka. It is not Semicarpus anacardium, but it is a substitute for Semicarpus anacardium, which is called Polygarnia arnotiana. Here it is called Cheremara, very commonly available plant, which is a toxic plant, but highly useful as a medicine also. It is called Polygarnia arnotiana, belongs to Anacardiaceae family. Just if you are walking beneath this tree also, you can get allergic rashes. That's how it is toxic, but it is medicinal also. A piece of bark about 4 finger width is cooked with the rice. Ganji prepared out of the, with the kashaya of Polygarnia arnotiana, which is taken empty in empty stomach, which is highly beneficial in intestinal worms and in anorexia, indigestion, intestinal malfunctioning, etc. And the bark is said to be Ushna. It is hot in nature and should not be consumed in excess. High dose is contraindicated, but that's why it is ganji is prepared in this kashaya and consumed. So it nullifies the toxic effects also. And tender leaves cooked with the buttermilk into tumbly form. It's a type of chutney preparation. It is the leaves just fried with the ghee and grind with the coconut and added with the buttermilk. It is called as tambuli. Tampuhuli means it is cooling, having cooling effect, which is highly useful in digestion disorders, digestive and carminative, and used in gastrointestinal disorders. This also causes allergic skin rashes if foliage, if leaves are touched. Then in such instances, coconut oil is applied to the skin as an antidote, or kashaya of vibhitaki bark is used for washing purpose. This is how the antidotes can be used, or curative aspect of the allergic reactions of the leaves. But it is a wonderful drug, which is very useful drug. Seeds also toxic. We can have purification like Ballataka Vijnana. And the next plant, which is Careya arborea. We can call it as Kumbhika, Careya arborea. Here the tender leaves are cooked into, again, tambuli form. So disorders also gastrointestinal disorders. And in burns and scalds, its decoction of the bark is used. And decoction of the bark is also useful in skin disorders, various types of skin disorders, especially in fungal disorders like pityriasis versicolor. In such disease, Sidma Kushta, such disorders we can use this skulk of the bark. And also in heartburn, stomachache, gastrointestinal disorders, mouth ulcers, etc., we can use. There are some other plants like Caesalpinia mimosoides. The oil is prepared from tender leaves poured into the ear, case of watery discharge from the ear. This is how a rare use of this plant. Caesalpinia mimosoides can be used in watery discharge of the ear or earache. The oil is prepared and it can be poured in a drop as a ear drop. The tender leaves also useful in a tambuli form in the decoction of the leaves can be used in diarrhea as well in menorrhagia also, which is Stambhaka and Raktastambhaka action. Tender leaves or even matured leaves also having Raktastambhaka action as well as Stambhaka action. That's how it can be used in menorrhagia as well, diarrhea. And medicated oil prepared from tender leaves is anointed in burns and scalds. This is how the uses of Caesalpinia mimosoides. Sir, yeah, please tell me the timing, sir. If I want to stop, let me stop.
Continue,
Sir,
sir.
how much time will take, sir? How much time will take, sir? 15
Yeah, around
minutes
5 to 10 minutes.
more? Please go ahead, sir.
Yes. Okay. So this is how within limited time I have covered just the speciality of Shobhavana. We have number of species, nearly 1,000 species we have, and we have 45 to 50 vanas and different butterfly garden, birds garden, and folklore garden. And identification point of view, for the academic point of view, we have classified the plants as Dashamula or Laghu Panchamula, Brihad Panchamula, Madhyam Panchamula. Like that also we have arranged Valli Panchamula. Like that we have arranged the ganas according to Charaka or Sushruta. Few of them, not all. Few ganas also we have arranged in a one of form group of drugs. That's how we have arranged. And there are some rare plants like Jyotishmati or Gugulu or Rudrakshi, like that plants, and many folklore plants which are commonly found in the foothills of Western Ghats. Such plants around, personally I have documented more than 200 plants, folklore plants, and its uses. So most of the plants we have planted in our herbal garden. So that's how we have arranged. This is the total plan of Shobhavana. Apart from that, we have planted a number of plants in bulk in more than 50 acres of land. We have planted in bulk, that is Haritaki, Vivitaki, Amalaki, or Dashamulas. Like such trees or plants we have cultivated for our medicinal purpose. The Shobhavana is only for the identification point of view. These plants are not used for the medicinal point of view in our pharmacy. This Shobhavana is displayed only for the public, or students, academics, researchers, all public. Anybody can come and see, witness this Shobhavana. And the conservation point of view. So why the plant conservation is important? During 19th century, total forest area of the world was nearly 7,000 mega hectare, but by 1975 it is reduced to 2,890, and if this decline continues, by 2030 we can have only 1,500 mega hectare of medicine or plants. That's how these plants are declining everywhere. And one more thing said by our acharyas, Vagbhata or Bhava Mishra says that Uchito yas deshas tajjam tasya ushadam hitam deshe anyatrapi vasata tatulya guna janmacha. The plants which are available in and around, the plants or food or medicine which are available in and around are most wholesome, if not similar drug of same qualities may be used. Substitute also can be used, but the plants which are available in and around our area are most wholesome. For which I am giving a simple example, that these our Karnataka coastal belt, Karnataka and Kerala, this coastal belt, we have very commonly found skin diseases. Various types of skin diseases are common in this belt, maybe due to atmosphere, humidity, or the fish eaters are more in seashore. So maybe that also reason. Because of that, skin disease is also very, very common. But if you are observing in our belt, in this coastal belt, there are plants which are commonly available are useful in skin disease. Many of the plants are useful in skin disease. That's how nature is built. The nature and human relationship is, we can very clearly explain with Acharya's shloka, as well our human and nature relationship. Like the plants like Aragoda, Khadira, or Asana, or so folklore plants like Zizalpinia or Adenanthera paonina or Patranga, like various plants we have in our belt, all plants are useful in skin disease. That's how the human and nature relationship in this. And why these plants are to be cultivated. So there is a slogan that import, substitute, and export promotion. Whatever the plants we are importing, find a substitute or try to cultivate here itself. And what are the plants which are in high demand, which are we are able to export, promote such plants also, multiply it. So the plants which are importing, find a substitute or cultivate the alternate plant, or the plant which are exporting, multiply, and with that we can grow the economy of the nation. There are 880 medicinal plant species involved in all over India trade. Of this, 48 species are exported and 42 species are imported. Approximately 8,000 medicinal plant species are grown in the country. So how to conserve these plants? Already I have told domestication of plants or cultivation of plant. What are the benefits of this conservation? Maintaining or how to conserve all these vanas by faith or fear. People are not touching this vana. People are worshipping this vana. With that, the plants are conserved. The other way of conservation also maintaining home herbal garden, school herbal garden beside temple, and Gramina Arogyavana, like that also we can plan, and cultivate some of the medicinal plants in between the agriculture crops also. Here, arecanut crops also, in between agriculture land, agriculture crop also, we can cultivate some of the medicinal plants. So if you are not doing those things, if you are not cultivating or if you are not conserving this plant, what happens next? It is whether plants are sustainably used and conserved for future generations. The plants are relevant and vital to all of us, and we should all be aware that plants across the world are endangered, with many facing extinction, and support efforts that tackle this problem. So that's why we have to. And what are the expected benefits out of which? So bring down the importing medicinal plants by cultivating on substituting, upgrade the export potential, the quality of the medicines will be improved, the soil erosion can be controlled, the groundwater will be recharged, the atmosphere also will be improved, overall health will be improved, and thereby economy of the country will also improve. So with this, we can say, as our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji says, that be vocal to local and make in India policy. So if you are cultivating all these plants, as per the Acharya says that hitam. So the food and medicinal plants which are available in and around the area are wholesome. That's how it will be vocal to local. And if you are preparing or manufacturing the herbal drug formulations in India, so that also concept of make in India. With that, we can achieve health for all. So with this, let me conclude today's presentation. I am highly thankful to the organizers. All I won't tell each and every name, especially Dr. Anil Shuklaji and Dr. Vinayak Bhatt and all the organized seniors, members, everyone. Thank you, one and all, on behalf of Alva Medical College. So I am highly thankful to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the tour of Shobhavana. And now the forum is open for the discussion.
Namaste, sir. It is a wonderful presentation. Why I requested Subrahmanya Padyana sir to do this presentation is because he made this Shobhavana as a live. It is 25 years of tapas is there with him, and he made this Shobhavana as a live for all the students of Ayurvedic college. They can visit and they can have this idea. And it is just like Nandan Nilekani has made the Aadhaar card for the human beings. In the similar way, he has made the Aadhaar card for the medicinal plants. That's why hats up to Subrahmanya Padyana sir. Namaste.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Welcome to you all for Shobhavana also. Any time, anybody can come and see this our garden, herbal garden. It is the vision and mission of our chairman, Dr. Mohan Alva, sir. 30 years back, his struggle was there to develop all this herbal garden, and we are trying to maintain and developing those herbal garden. Thank you, sir.
Any query or want to share any?
Suggestions are also welcome. If anyone want to add, please add. All these are the experts only. So I think Dr. Subrahmanya sir had covered all these things. But if anyone have any successful experience, they can also share. Otherwise, any question, query, those are welcome. I think there is no query. So I can request Dr. Mohanlal Jaiswal, sir. So please invite him.
Sir, if you join.
Subramanya sir, one more
Yeah.
request. One more
Yes, sir.
request regarding to the approach to the Shobhavan. What is the procedure? You can just tell in few sentence how to approach from the institution level, how they can proceed for the from the institution. How can they visit to your Shobhavan? Please convey into few lines.
Yeah, sure, sir. One way, my mail ID I have shared here, my contact number also I have shared. That is 944-8327-156. This is my contact number. But mainly, you have to approach officially. Please send a mail. If you are coming from the institution level, please send a mail to principal@alvas principal.aamc@gmail.com. Principal.aamc for Advanced Ayurveda Medical College. So principal.aamc@gmail.com. To this mail, we can just send a mail and just send a message to me also, and we will arrange. Except on holidays or Sundays, all other working days, it is you can witness the herbal garden.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
And the main motto is you can see the herbal garden Shobhavana, how to identify the plants and how to cultivate the plant, how to conserve the plant, all those things you can see. But main problem comes in students, the identification plants outside the herbal garden. In field identification, how to identify, that's we have to teach in our herbal garden.
Sir, what is the exact area of Shobhavana?
The Shobhavana demonstration garden is around 10 acres of land.
Okay.
And mass cultivation, we have 100 acres of land. But for the public point of view, identification point of view, we have 10 acres of land.
Okay, okay. So there is no any query. So I am requesting to respected Mohanlal Jaiswal sir. Jaiswal sir, please आप आपका मार्गदर्शन हमें प्रदान करें.
Yeah, he is guru to all. Jaiswal ji, sir.
जी सर.
Yeah.
हाँ, आज के इस संभाषा में समुपस्थित विश्व आयुर्वेद परिषद के सभी माननीय पदाधिकारीगण और आज के मुख्य प्रवक्ता प्रोफेसर सुब्रमण्यम जी तथा भारत के विभिन्न भागों से जुड़े हुए द्रव्यगुण के विभिन्न शिक्षक, अध्येता और सुधीजन, इस संभाषा में आप सबको सादर वंदन, सबको सादर प्रणाम करते हुए आपको सुब्रमण्यम जी ने जो आज का विषय प्रस्तुत किया, राशि वन, नक्षत्र वन, और विभिन्न दृष्टिकोण से जो आपने शोभा वन का प्रस्तुतिकरण एक शोभामान बृहद दृष्टिकोण से प्रस्तुत किया, इसके लिए आप बधाई के पात्र हैं। आपको बहुत ही थैंक्स, धन्यवाद। वस्तुतः शोभा वन जो है, इसमें दो शब्द हैं, शोभा और +1। तो शोभा का अभिप्राय आप संस्कृत के मूल शब्द शुभ, शोभते अर्थात शुभ, जिसका अभिप्राय मनोरम, कल्याणकारी, लावण्यमय, सुंदर, भद्र, इस प्रकार से तो प्रकृति में आप जानते ही हैं कि दो प्रकार का जो हमें हमें प्रकृति के साहचर्य में वनस्पति वर्ग और प्राणी वर्ग, जंतु वर्ग, तो दोनों का एक दूसरे से साहचर्य होता है और दोनों का एक दूसरे के लिए कल्याणकारी होती हैं। तो एनिमल के लिए कल्याणकारी या पूरी धरा के लिए कल्याणकारी शुभ जो है ये हमारे वन है। तो इसीलिए नामकरण में शोभा, शुभ और वन, वन शब्द तो आप द्रव्य गुण के सभी लोग जानते ही हैं कि वनम, अरण्य, जंगल अर्थात बहुवृक्षों का समूह, बहुवृक्षित स्थान, कानन, वन, ये सब जो है अरण्य, अटवी, ये वन शब्द के हमारे यहाँ पर्याय या प्रकारांतर से बोला जाता है। तो इस प्रकार से ये शोभा वन पूरे समुदाय का प्रतिनिधित्व करता है और वन से ही वनस्पति बनी है। आप जानते हैं जो वन का पति हो वो वनस्पति। वैसे तो द्रव्य गुण में आप जानते हैं वनस्पति, वानस्पत्य, विरुद्ध और औषध विशिष्टार्थ में प्रयुक्त हुआ है, लेकिन सामान्य अर्थ में जो वन का पति हो वनस्पति। तो वन में वन का पति कौन? तो वनस्पतियां, उनसे ही उनकी शोभा है, वन की शोभा है। वन दोनों एक दूसरे से आश्रित है, दोनों एक दूसरे से मिलकर बना है और इनका कल्याण, ये सभी जंतु समुदाय का कल्याण करते हैं। तो इस प्रकार से इस द्रव्य गुण के, आप जानते हैं कि द्रव्य गुण एक ऐसा विषय है कि जिसका दोनों ही पक्ष, सैद्धांतिक पक्ष और क्रियात्मक पक्ष अर्थात थ्योरेटिकल और प्रैक्टिकल, तो सिद्धांत के सम्यक ज्ञान के लिए, द्रव्यों के सैद्धांतिक पक्ष को समझने के लिए हमें वन में जाना पड़ेगा। केवल द्रव्य गुण को हम पुस्तकों में, ग्रंथों में रह करके पूरी तरह से नहीं समझ सकते और केवल जंगल में रह करके भी हम द्रव्य गुण को नहीं समझ सकते। तो हमें वन में भी जाना पड़ेगा और पुस्तकों का भी हमें विचरण करना पड़ेगा, ग्रंथों का भी विचरण करना पड़ेगा। संहिताओं में जो हम द्रव्यों को पढ़ते हैं, वेदों में जो द्रव्यों को पढ़ते हैं, निघंटुओं में जो वेदों को पढ़ते हैं, शब्दकोशों में जो द्रव्यों को पढ़ते हैं, उनका सब नाम रूपात्मक से लेकर प्रयोगात्मक पक्ष, तो जो हम उसका एक थ्योरेटिकल एस्पेक्ट पढ़ते हैं, उसका प्रैक्टिकल एस्पेक्ट हम जब वन में जाते हैं तो वो चीजें हमें हस्तामलकवत होती हैं, बिल्कुल स्पष्ट होती हैं। अब कोई भी, जैसे सालपर्णी, अब सालपर्णी आपने पढ़ लिया और आपने सालपर्णी, सोरिया रोबस्टा या मान लीजिए भल्लातक, दक्षिण का ही द्रव्य है विशेष रूप से भल्लातक, तो जब तक आप भल्लातक को वन में नहीं जाएंगे तब तक आप भल्लातक के सारे एस्पेक्ट को हृदयंगम नहीं कर सकते। तो इस दृष्टिकोण से ये दोनों सिद्धांत और क्रिया, क्षेत्र और ग्रंथ, दोनों का अन्योन्याश्रित संबंध है, तभी हमें द्रव्य गुण हृदयंगम होता है। हम छात्रों के लिए, विद्यार्थियों के लिए, अनुसंधानकर्ताओं के लिए, शिक्षकों के लिए, फार्मेसिस्ट के लिए, सबके लिए। तो इस प्रकार से वन का आप जानते हैं कि प्राचीन काल से ही वनस्पतियों का मूल उद्भव तो वन्य क्षेत्र में ही होता है। वेद में भी कंसेप्ट आया है वन्य और ग्राम्य। तो वन्य में सबसे पहले वनस्पतियां वन्य रूप में उत्पन्न हुई और बाद में हमने अपनी सुविधा के लिए उसको ग्राम्य रूप में, कल्टीवेटेड रूप में हमने उसको स्थापित किया अपनी सुविधा के लिए। दूरी के दृष्टिकोण से या अन्य यातायात के दृष्टिकोण से हर जगह तो संभव नहीं है कि हम, जैसे अभी सुब्रमण्यम जी ने बताया कि नदी भल्ला तक होलेगर्मा आर्नोटियाना को देखना है तो हमें वेस्टर्न घाट में ही जाना पड़ेगा। आप चाहेंगे कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट में या जो जोगिंदर नगर या अरुणाचल के जंगलों में मिले तो वो नहीं मिलेगा। हर वनस्पति का एक पर्टिकुलर हैबिटेट होता है। तो इसलिए अब वहां भी सबको संभव नहीं है कि सब लोग भी वेस्टर्न घाट में जा करके देख सकें। तो ठीक है, सुविधा के लिए चाहे वो मूडबिद्री का कॉलेज है, चाहे वो आपका हासन का कॉलेज है, चाहे त्रिवेंद्रम है, चाहे साउथ इंडिया के जितने भी प्रमुख इंस्टीट्यूशन हैं, उन्होंने एक समृद्ध गार्डन स्थापित किया है कि जो वहाँ की क्षेत्रीय रीजनल जो विशिष्ट वनस्पतियां हैं, चाहे वो नदी भल्ला तक है, चाहे वो वन्य कुपलू है, अभी बात आई वन्य कुपलू की, कोलेब्रियम की। तो ऐसे बहुत सारे जो द्रव्य हैं उनको हम अपने वन में स्थापित करके, अपने गार्डन में स्थापित करके छात्रों को या अन्य लोगों को उसका सम्यक ज्ञान करा सकते हैं। तो इस प्रकार से ये शोभा वन का महत्व शिक्षण, अनुसंधान और औषधि निर्माण में भी। मूडबिद्री के गार्डन में हम लोग भी देखे 2 बार 3 बार, बहुत समृद्ध गार्डन है। संस्था ने बहुत ही अच्छा प्रयास करके एक मॉडल गार्डन, अगर भारत के कुछ मॉडल गार्डन के रूप में, स्थापित गार्डन के रूप में कहा जाए तो मूडबिद्री का भी गार्डन एक मॉडल गार्डन है, जहां पर बहुत सारी वनस्पतियों को आप लोगों ने स्थापित किया है। तो वो आपको साउथ इंडिया की वनस्पतियों को देखना है तो उस गार्डन का एक परिदृश्य आप देखेंगे तो एक पूरा दृश्य आपके सामने आ जाएगा कि वेस्टर्न घाट में या साउथ में कौन कौन सी प्रमुख वनस्पतियां मिलती हैं। आपको उसके लिए पूरा वेस्टर्न घाट जाना पड़ेगा, उसके लिए आपको मलय पर्वत में जाना पड़ेगा, आपको नीचे जो है चेन्नई में जाना पड़ेगा। तो उसको एक जगह ही आप देख सकते हैं। तो इस प्रकार से वन का महत्व है। वो वन्य के रूप में, कल्टीवेटेड ग्राम्य के रूप में अर्थात कल्टीवेटेड फार्म में, वही जो है आप देखते हैं कि इन सीटू एक्स सीटू, हम उसको इन सीटू के रूप में स्टेब्लिश करते हैं। एक्स सीटू तो आपका नेचर में भी है। नेचर में भी आजकल जो है वहीं पर उसको प्रिजर्व करने की परंपरा हो रही है। जो विलुप्त वनस्पतियां हो रही हैं उनको वहीं पर प्रिजर्व करने के लिए ऐसी योजनाएं फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट के, आयुर्वेद डिपार्टमेंट के, कृषि विभाग के, वानिकी के सहयोग से चल रही है। तो इस प्रकार से बहुत ही इसमें कितना वन्य जो शोभा वन है उसमें आपका राशि वन, नक्षत्र वन और ग्रहों के जो नवग्रहों के हिसाब से 27 नक्षत्रों के हिसाब से और 9 राशियों के हिसाब से। और इसके अलावा आपने देखा कि शिव पंचाक्षरी के में जो उपयोगी वन हैं, जो वृक्ष हैं, उनको धन्वंतरी वन के रूप में, धन्वंतरी पूजा में, और इसके अलावा सत्य नारायण व्रत कथा के लिए जो उपयोगी हैं। तो बहुत ही अच्छा प्रयास है कि आप लोगों ने इन सबको एक जगह एकत्रित किया है। आप जानते हैं कि एक राशि में 3 नक्षत्र होते हैं, 3 तो उनके हिसाब से भी बांट करके बनाया है। तो एक बहुत ही अच्छा ये श्लाघनीय और स्तुत्य प्रयास है। इसके अतिरिक्त जो वहां पर फोकलोर के रूप में जो परंपरा से ट्राइबल्स, आदिवासी जनजाति प्रयोग कर रहे हैं, उनका भी एक दिग्दर्शन वहां मिलता है। और साथ में उस पर वहां पर संस्था में उन लोगों ने कई प्लांट्स पर रिसर्च वर्क भी कराए हैं। बहुत सारे महत्वपूर्ण सप्तर्षि वन का, सप्तऋषि हैं आप जानते हैं, हर ऋषियों की अपनी परंपरा है और ऋषियों के अपने विशिष्ट वृक्ष हैं, तो उनका भी दिग्दर्शन हुआ है। उसके अलावा कुछ विशिष्ट द्रव्यों का भी आपने उल्लेख किया, मंडूपर्णी, नागकेसर, चंपक, कदम्ब, जो रुद्राक्ष, चंदन, उनके आइडेंटिफिकेशन के भी दृष्टिकोण से और उसके कल्टीवेशन के दृष्टिकोण से हमें क्या दृष्टि रखनी चाहिए, उस पक्ष पर भी आपने प्रकाश डाला। तो ये सब बातें हमें इस व्याख्यान के माध्यम से आपने बताया। तो अब यहाँ पर बात हो रही थी नदी भल्ला तक की। अभी हम लोग मार्च में ही वेस्टर्न घाट में 3 दिन तक हम लोग थे। तो बहुत दिनों से सुश्रुत में, संहिताओं में ये जो नदी भल्ला तक तो प्रायः देखने को मिलता है। वैसे महाराष्ट्र से नीचे जब हम जाते हैं तो प्रायः भल्ला तक क्या नेचुरल फील्ड है, लेकिन नॉर्थ में भी मिल जाता है, लेकिन विशेष रूप से साउथ में ही मिलता है, वहां की भौगोलिक परिस्थिति उसकी अनुकूल है। लेकिन नदी भल्ला तक जो हरिगर्मा जो है वो नहीं मिलता साउथ में। तो हम लोगों ने इस बार वेस्टर्न घाट में अपने सर्वे में वहां पर जो हम लोगों का टीचर और स्कॉलर को जो प्रशिक्षण में हम लोगों ने देखा कि वहां 2 स्पीसीज मिली नदी भल्ला तक का, होलीगर्मा का। एक होलीगर्मा आर्नोटियाना और एक होलीगर्मा गार्मी। तो दोनों के फ्रूटिंग के पैटर्न को देखा तो नदी भल्ला तक से स्पष्ट प्रतीत होता है, मालूम होता है कि नदी माने जो जल स्रोत के, नदियों के एक्वेटिक सोर्स में जिसका हो, एक्वेटिक रीजन हो और भल्ला तक के समान हो। तो आप जब होलीगर्मा के लीफ को देखेंगे तो उसकी पत्तियां भी लगभग भल्ला तक की थोड़ा ज्यादा वाइड और लेंथ होती हैं, इसकी थोड़ी उसकी अपेक्षा नैरो होती हैं, लेकिन भल्ला तक से मिलती जुलती हैं पत्तियां उसकी, उसके पत्र, उसके लीव्स। फ्रूट पर जब हम लोगों ने देखा तो भल्ला तक के फ्रूट से जो सिमिलरिटी थी वो आर्नोटियाना के कंपैरिजन में गार्मी जो वैरायटी थी उसमें ज्यादा सिमिलरिटी मिली फ्रूट में, गार्मी वाले में। ये जो है आपका इस रीजन में हम लोगों को मिला था, यही वेस्टर्न घाट में, गोवा के पास ही, सावंतवाड़ी के पास। तो ये मैं यहाँ पर रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा प्रोफेसर पांड्यान जी से कि अपनी संस्था में दोनों पर कंपैरेटिव स्टडी कराऊं, आर्नोटियाना पर और गार्मी पर, कि दोनों में एक्चुअल शास्त्र, दोनों का एक्सपेरिमेंटल, क्लिनिकल, फार्माकोलॉजिकल, फार्माकोग्नोस्टिकल, फाइटोकेमिकल पूरी स्टडी करके स्टैब्लिश किया जाए कि एक्चुअली संगीतोक्त भल्ला तक कौन सा है, गार्मी है कि आर्नोटियाना है। सिमिलरिटी के हिसाब से तो गार्मी में, आकार के हिसाब से, मॉर्फोलॉजी के हिसाब से गार्मी में ज्यादा कैरेक्टर मिला, लेकिन समग्र दृष्टिकोण से अध्ययन होना चाहिए। तो इसलिए मेरा एक सुझाव था। देखिए सुश्रुत ने भी वहां पर कहा है कि जहां नदी भल्ला तक का आया है वहां आपने भी उल्लेख किया और हम लोगों ने भी वहां फील्ड में लोगों से पता किया, तो वहां लिखा है होलीगर्मा के लिए, नदी भल्ला तक के लिए कि कषाय मधुर शाके पठितः, ये जो कषाय रस प्रधान जो शाक है उसमें ये पठित वनस्पति है। तो वहां भी हमको ये इंफॉर्मेशन लोगों से, लोकल लोगों से मिली थी कि इसकी जो टेंडर लीव्स है उसका वो लोग वेजिटेबल्स के रूप में प्रयोग करते हैं। और पांड्यान जी ने भी बताया, तो ये सिमिलरिटी हम दोनों तरफ से मिली। तो उसका आहारी प्रयोग शाक के रूप में, उस पर भी स्टडी होना चाहिए। त्वक विकार में, स्किन डिजीज में इसका प्रयोग फोकलोर से भी पता लगा, पांड्यान जी ने भी बताया। और इस पर और एक्सटेंसिव, जानते हैं आपकी वेस्टर्न घाट हो चाहे ईस्टर्न घाट हो, ये समुद्र तटीय क्षेत्र है, वहां पर स्किन डिजीज प्रायः ज्यादा होती है। जहां मॉइस्चर होगा, जहां अग्निमांद्य होगा, जो आनुक प्रदेश है, तो वहां स्किन फंगल डिजीज, स्किन डिजीजेस की संभावना ज्यादा होती है। तो सिद्धांत है कि यस्य देशस्य यो जंतु तज्जात तत्तौष्टम हितम, जहां जो वनस्पति होती है वहां उत्पन्न होने वाले रोगों के लिए प्रकृति अपने आप ऐसे विशिष्ट वनस्पतियां उत्पन्न होती है। जैसे राजस्थान की बात करें तो राजस्थान में प्राय जो है ड्राई क्षेत्र है, पानी कम है, पहाड़ी क्षेत्र है, तो यहाँ ज्यादा आप देखेंगे असमरी ज्यादा होती है। तो असमरी ज्यादा होती है, अब यहाँ कुलत्थ की पैदावार बहुत है अन्य प्रदेशों की अपेक्षा। प्रकृति ने अपने आप यहाँ कुलत्थ ज्यादा पैदा किया है। तो इसी प्रकार से वहां नदी भल्ला तक, वहां चूंकि स्किन डिजीज होती है तो वहां नदी भल्ला तक जैसे द्रव्य प्रयोग किए, वहां जो है वन कुपिली जैसे द्रव्य प्रयोग किए, कोलिब्रियम जो है तो इस प्रकार से बहुत ही बढ़िया एक अच्छे ढंग से प्रस्तुत किया। आपको इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं आपका हार्दिक धन्यवाद करते हुए, और मुझे प्रसन्नता हुई कि अब आप उस संस्था के प्रमुख के रूप में भी कार्य कर रहे हैं, इसके लिए आपको हार्दिक हृदय से मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं। और
धन्यवाद
विश्व
सर,
आयुर्वेद परिषद के सभी पदाधिकारियों, माननीय योगेश मिश्रा जी और शुक्ला जी मैडम और सभी लोग, जितने भी सम्मान्य लोग हैं, सब लोगों ने हमें जो ये अवसर प्रदान किया, और देश भर के सभी द्रव्यगुणज्ञ जो यहाँ उपस्थित होके हमारी बात को, हमारे गुरुदेव की बात को, हम तो क्या है जी, हम तो जो भी गुरुदेव की बात है, आचार्य प्रियव्रत शर्मा जी की बात है, उसको ट्रांसमिट कर रहे हैं। और यही अपना पुनीत कर्तव्य मान के आप लोगों ने, आपके समक्ष हमने गुरुदेव की वाणी को प्रस्तुत किया। सादर धन्यवाद, सबका सादर अभिनंदन।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद गुरु जी आपका। आपका जो हम लोगों को पाठ्य और कंक्रीट मार्क्स मिलता है, हम सब के लिए अपने अध्ययन अध्यापन में बहुत ही लाभकारी होता है। डॉक्टर सुब्रमण्यम सर का व्याख्यान बहुत अच्छा रहा, और आप सब नवंबर में कर्नाटका में संयोजन हो रहा है, तो हमें अपने त्रिगुण के विद जितने भी हो गई हैं व्याख्यान, उनका एक बुक के रूप में पब्लिकेशन करना है, प्रिंट करके। तो कृपया आप लोग अपने टॉपिक्स उसको रिसर्च पेपर के रूप में बना के सब लोग सबमिट कर दें। डॉक्टर शंकर मिश्रा जी सर ने कुछ हम लोग डिवाइड किया था, ओमप्रकाश राउत सर ने, तो वो सब काम हमको करना आवश्यक है, क्योंकि जैसा गुरु जी ने कहा उसका पब्लिकेशन सुचारू रूप से हो पाए। इसका उद्देश्य यही है कि हम लोग जो बातें कर रहे हैं, जो प्रेजेंटेशन हो रहे हैं, उसको लिपिबद्ध कर लेंगे तो आने वाले शिक्षकों के लिए और छात्रों के लिए लाभकारी होगा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मीना जी।
जी सर, धन्यवाद सर। और मोहनलाल जायसवाल सर का भी धन्यवाद सर के मार्गदर्शन के लिए। अभी हम शांति मंत्र के साथ अभी सभी से आज्ञा लेते हैं।